Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 134, the Grascals interview, part 2. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the fine folks and Mr. Weaver over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Mr. Weaver's the fine folks too. Drop by over at weaversdepartmentstore.com and pick up some DVDs, CDs, videos, whatever you might like that's Mayberry related, they have it. weaversdepartmentstore.com. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners like you. The executive producer of Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 134, is David Morris. David Morris, son of Howard Morris, Ernest T. Bass himself. Thank you, David, for your support. Hello, everybody. I'm Allan Newsome, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting, and I am so glad to be with you tonight. This is May 2nd. 2011, when I record this, we had a bunch of tornadoes, storms come through here in the southeast, all of the southeast, on Wednesday of last week. And I am just thankful to be able to come back and visit here in Mayberry tonight with you good folks and just try to forget a little bit of those troubles we've had over the last few weeks. And hopefully, no matter when you're listening to that, that's exactly what this show is good for, to just have some fun and visit and be thankful for what we've got in life. Let's just visit Mayberry. Hey, last week we had our part 1 of our interview with the Grascals. Now, this is part 2. Now, last week I will say I need to make a correction. Grascals were the 2001 SPBGMA Instrumental Group of the Year. I meant to say 2011. You know, I can't read. So I wanted to say they are the 2011 Society for the Preservation of Bluegrass Music of America Instrumental Group. Congratulations to the Grascals for that. And sorry for getting that wrong last week. Now, we're going to continue our interview tonight with two of the Grascals, Terry Eldredge and Terry Smith. Now, the two guys, the two Terrys there, we'll call Terry Eldredge L and Terry Smith Smitty. And I asked him about that because when I was trying to talk to him over the phone, I was like, what should I call you guys? I can't say Terry. And they said, oh, it's L and Smitty. So you'll hear that during the podcast tonight. You'll hear them referred to in that way. So this interview is pretty long. It's the last half of the interview. And boy, you can definitely tell during the interview just what Andy Griffith Show fans they are, how much they love the show. So let's get right into it, and here are the Grascals. I've got a question for you. So I asked, I'll ask you first. So who's your favorite character on the Andy Griffith Show?
Lord, there's so many of them, but Andy. There ain't nobody got a better friend than Andy Griffith. That
is true. That is definitely true.
But there ain't nobody got a better friend than Andy.
Yeah, that's out of Barney's speech after he had been on the stand. That's right. What about you, Smitty?
Mr. Swamp.
Mr. Swamp.
He's the guy with the bad wig, remember him?
Oh, yeah, we don't have very many quotes from him, but we got a lot of head nodding and things like that from Mr. Swamp.
My favorite one, of course, Don Knotts. I mean, Barney, he's like everybody's favorite. Andy's great. But you catch me in the right mood, Floyd kills me.
Howard McNear, he was amazing.
Howard McNear.
Mm-hmm.
It was tragically he had the stroke, and he was still funny.
Oh yeah.
But before he the stroke, he would absolutely kill me. I mean, I love Floyd the barber. He was so funny.
Now on the podcast, I've gone into the fact that he played Doc on Gunsmoke, the old radio show, and if you ever listen to that, and he was Doc, and William Conrad was Matt Dillon. And it's just hard for me when I listen to that and I hear Matt Dillon ask Doc something, and then Doc's like, well, Matthew, I see Floyd every time I hear it. So
that's great. Hey, but we don't want to forget Otis.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I figured he might be one of yours because I saw on your facts sheet.
Otis is the first one. Otis, the first one comes to my mind.
Yeah, it said your hobby was drinking, was one of them. Golf and drinking.
That's it. Yeah, I got a hobby, drinking.
Drinking.
That's it. That's right, yeah. If they bite her, she'll bite them back.
That's right. Yeah. I seen temptation coming, but it saw me first.
Oh, man.
great, man.
Yeah, so obviously you guys are members of the Andy Griffith Show Rerun Watchers Club. Are you in it?
I don't know if Smitty. Are you Smitty or I don't?
I'm not, but I need to.
Oh, you need to be. Yeah, you definitely need to be. You can go over to imayberry.com, the website, and sign up there, and you'll get every other month you get the newsletter. It used to be a paper newsletter, and it was called The Bullet for Barney's Bullet, and now it's electronic only, so it's called the E-Bullet. So you get an electronic copy of all kinds of information from Jim Clark, and he's up there in Nashville, and you guys are up in Nashville now, basically in that area. And he runs the Andy Griffith Show Rerun Watchers Club from the headquarters there in Nashville. Yeah, definitely want to invite you to be a part of it because I know you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, we actually got to meet Betty Lynn Thelma. We got to meet her, and Maggie Peterson. Eleanor Donahue, we got to meet her. Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet Don Knotts personally before he passed away.
Jim Lindsay was his
James Best.
Oh, it's Best.
James Best.
Yeah. James Best.
Jim Lindsay.
Jim Lindsay. Yeah, was a character on there. We got to meet him. I got to see Ernest T. I didn't get a meeting. Meet his son. And I've seen Andy at the Opry.
Yeah,
but I didn't get to meet him.
Right.
But I've seen him at the Mandel Opry. He came to the Opry to induct Earl Scruggs in the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
Right.
So I got to see him, but I did actually personally get to meet Don Knotts and shake his hand.
Yeah, that's a special experience to get to meet Don, I think.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, I was able to doing Floyd. I was afforded the opportunity to meet him and be part of the shows that he was doing from time to time, and it was always a great privilege just to be around him. He's such a quiet fellow, and he just brought so much joy to everybody just from just walking in the room.
Yeah, genius. No, absolutely. Oh, and I got to meet Malcolm Merriweather,
Bernard Fox. Mm-hmm.
Right, Bernard Fox.
Yeah. I got to meet him. It was pretty cool. Pretty neat.
That's great. Did you meet them when they were at Opryland or at the
I did the Opryland thing. It was like one of the reunion things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as far as Thelma Lou and Ellie and all that, we met them at doing radio shows and stuff. And Charlene, Darwin, we met them all at doing radio stuff.
They were at the
Mayberry days. Yeah, Mayberry days.
Yeah, where you were at?
Yeah, Betty actually lives in Mount Airy now. She actually lives there. Thelma Lou does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she's there at the Andy Griffith Museum about once a month at least, signing autographs and stuff for folks. And she's a sweetheart.
I got to kiss Thelma Lou on the lip.
Barney didn't see you, did he?
Yeah,
now you've got to marry. Isn't that the way that works? Yeah.
Oh, no, that's Gomer.
Yeah.
Gomer thought
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Thelma Lou, I'm trying to say a ballpark.
Let's see, we've already talked about favorite episodes and favorite characters. You got any moments on the Andy Griffith Show that really stick out in your mind, like something like, I don't know, Opie the Birdman when he's releasing the birds or something like that?
That one for sure. The end of that. When Andy's out there with Opie and they let the birds go.
Mm-hmm.
That one. But I also love when Barney's got his tweezers out. That's pretty good when he's feeding the birds, and he says, "That's good. Next time I go on a safari, next time I go on safari, I'm gonna take my tweezers."
Yeah, I love that. I love that line. I was talking about that recently. You know, the Andy Griffith Show is one of those shows you watch, and it's so funny. All these great, funny lines, and then they have episodes like Opie the Birdman, Mr. McBeevy, that'll.
Mr. McBeevy, that right there too. When Andy comes downstairs, and Aunt B says, or Barney asked him, I think, he says, "Did you spank him or whatever?" He said, "No." He said, "Well, what'd you do?" He said, "Nothing." Told him I believe. And he said, "Well, Barney was like he's saying, he said, "You mean to tell me you believe there's a Mr. McBeevy?" He said, "No, but I believe in Opie."
Yeah, that's powerful right there. That definitely gets you right in the chest when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Opie tells Aunt B that she needs him too in the very first episode.
That's
pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty tear-swelling thing.
Yeah, and the one I talked about recently was on Opie's job. Now, it's a color episode, but Opie had tried to get that job.
But that's good too.
there at the end when Andy's all upset about him losing his job, and then Opie said, I had to, Pa. You know, and then it turns out the other boy needed money to help pay bills. Oh, wow. Yeah. Those are tearjerkers to me. Just
you're not a boy, you're a man.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That was the name of that episode of the podcast I did. Opie the Man was the name of it. And that's what I was talking about. And I think that's what's so special about this show to us is that, you know, it can make you laugh, you have a great time, and then they have these really powerful, emotional episodes. Mm-hmm.
It's a shame to put them out a lot. The epilogues was like, at times, the best part of the whole show.
Yeah, thank goodness they've got the DVDs now, and you can watch it all.
Yeah, because it totally just sums up the whole show in like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The whole episode, you know, and shame they cut them out to make money. Yep.
Yeah, it is. It is. Let's see. Hey, how did you guys get involved with the Mayberry's Finest? You were mentioning that earlier that you guys you wrote the little jingle for them. But did they approach you to get you involved?
Well, Jamie had got in touch with them about a sponsorship, and he sold us to them,
mm-hmm.
and we got involved that way. I mean, we wrote the jingle. I mean, they liked everything we did, so it became a successful relationship with them.
Like I say, but Jamie basically sold us to them, and then the thing was they were saying we need a jingle, so then we wrote the jingle, and they were like.
Yeah, well, that's. I had some questions. I knew I was going to be interviewing you, so these guys, I got some folks to submit some questions they wanted to answer, and that was one. They wondered how you got in. A fellow named Scott Hopkins had asked, do you play any Mayberry games while you're out traveling?
We do sometimes. We've got, like, a trivia game in that. Yeah, and then if, like Smitty said, if we ever find that it's on the satellite, then we always turn it on. Like the other day, we watched, 6 episodes, I think.
Yeah, they had a mini marathon.
Yeah, we watched every one of them.
Yeah, that's what I do, too. Even if I'm not watching it, it's on so that I can hear it, and then I slide the chair back to be able to watch particular scenes, because I know Barney's fixing to do something, and I want to see it.
Oh, if I could hear it in the other room, I could see the scene in my mind. Yeah, I could hear a line and laugh in the other room and not even watch it. I've seen every episode. I know 50 times each, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hey, I mean, is there anything you want to tell us about the new CD, the DVD that you've got out? Anything in particular you want to brag about? Or you had said Andy was he wanted you guys to do that CD, so that's a big deal. Yeah,
that's what they sent it to him, and he totally gave his go on it, his okay on it. I guess he loved it, from what I understand, because anything that's done with that show, you know, has to get okayed by him.
Mm-hmm.
He totally, I guess, enjoyed it and gave the go ahead. But when they were talking about doing it, and that he said that he wanted us to do it.
That's great. Now you've got music videos that are out on your website. You can go see the music videos of the songs that are there. You can watch. Where did y'all film those?
We filmed them at a club down here called the Broken Spoke here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, because I've watched several of them already. I've watched them. Of course, I had the music already. I'd already downloaded, but I've watched the videos because they're neat. There's one where you look like you're out on a front porch of somewhere, and
it's a songwriters club here in Nashville, Tennessee, called the Broken Spoke, where all the songwriters go and play their songs, try to get cuts on them, and we just went down there and filmed it one afternoon.
Yeah, and you had a Mayberry squad car in one of the shots too.
Yeah.
So
sure did.
Now Jeff Branch, you guys know Jeff Branch? He does Howard Sprague with us.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we know Jeff.
The county clerk.
The county clerk. That's right. I just saw him this past weekend. Yeah, and he was telling me you guys got to go. I don't know if we can talk about this or not, but you guys got to go and play a party recently.
Oh, was he talking about going and playing Steven Seagal's party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah. We're played Steven Seagal's birthday party. It's actually the third time we've done it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, I thought that was pretty neat. And you guys got you've got a CD out right now that's or a music video and single that's called "I Am Strong." You got featuring Dolly Parton.
Yes, and Steven's on that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a part of the proceeds go to St. Jude Hospital in Tennessee, and Steven's a big supporter of that hospital.
Yeah, he's not on the video. He's on the one of our versions.
Yeah,
on the CD.
Yeah, because I knew that was involved with St. Jude, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned it, because that's, you know, Danny Thomas was really big into the St. Jude's stuff, and he was, you know, part of the Andy Griffith Show as well. The Andy Griffith Show pilot was on the Danny Thomas Show.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, I was going to say, Danny's the one that got the Andy Griffith Show started.
That's right.
You know,
That's
Make room
right.
for Daddy.
that's it. Yeah.
That's right. So I think that's a neat tie-in that you guys have there as well.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. And people, I guess we can mention this. People can get that at the Cracker Barrel. Cracker
Right.
Barrel restaurants all over the country. That's where they can buy that album at. Or go to crackerbarrel.com, or they can go to Grascals.com and buy that album. And part of the proceeds go to St. Jude.
Hey, that's great. That's a great thing you guys are able to do. I know you must be, it must make you feel good to be able to be a part of things like that, and to be able to use just the God-given talents you guys have to be able to help people.
Oh,
Feels great.
yeah, absolutely. Anytime you can give back, that's a good thing. You never know when you might need it.
That's right. And I tell you, hey, that's that shows the Mayberry spirit right there. You know, helping people and watching out for your fellow men, and you know, that's just I think that's what the Andy Griffith Show is really all about. The love that those characters had for each other, and it's neat to be able to see that you guys are not just enjoying the show, but you live out the things that you kind of learned from watching it.
That's exactly right.
Well, guys, hey, I don't want to keep you all night. I could stand and talk with you for all evening about the Andy Griffith Show. That's I love it. So, but if there's anything else you'd like to talk about or say, feel free to do that. But
Well, I'd like to hear you do Floyd one more time.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see what it said on the sidewalk out there? It says Bobby Gribble. Hey, some alarms. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Now they're announcing their coming nuptials. Yeah, get you to see it back in school. Bobby dipping her pigtails in the inkwell. Yeah, yeah. She'll get in with him now. Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's it. No coffee to your punch, thank you.
I can also do Burt Miller. Oh, those ringing doorbells.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hello.
Oh, those ringing doorbells.
Yeah, I don't want to be pushy or anything.
That's great.
Yeah. Hey, I really do appreciate you guys taking time to talk with us. This and I just can't tell you. I wish you so much luck on this CD, and I'm sure it's going to go over great. I know all Mayberry fans are going to want to get a copy, and I'm sure you guys won't get stumped too often and have to give away too many copies.
Well, thank you, Allan.
Hey, thank you. I thank
Allan
you.
Floyd.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, everything's okay in Mayberry.
Well, thank you, Allan.
Hey, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, there, folks. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that, and I know you could definitely hear just how big of fans of the Andy Griffith Show those guys are. And I just want to thank them, Terry Eldredge and Terry Smith from the Grascals, for spending some time with us here in Mayberry. The interview was originally scheduled for just 15 minutes, and we spent an easy 30 minutes. And mainly, as you could hear, most of the time was talking about their love of it and what it's meant to them. And you got to hear that last week and this week. So if you haven't heard last week's episode, please go back and listen to episode number 133. So you can hear the first part of the interview with the Grascals. And, hey, drop by over at Grascals show notes at twochairsnowaiting.com so you can get to that, and you can order you a CD. Or if you wait until June is when its actual release date is, you'll be able to get it at Weaver's, I do believe, from weaversdepartmentstore.com. You can also buy it on iTunes, and the links to that stuff is all on our website at twochairsnowaiting.com. You can get them there. Now, the Grascals will be performing, if you listen to this anytime in the near future, as from the time it was recorded. They're going to be recording this summer and into the fall, I'm sure. And David Browning, the Mayberry, will also be appearing not with them really, but at the same event and pre-show to their concert. So I just found that out this weekend. So hopefully you guys will be able to just share all that Mayberry fun, hear some great bluegrass music, and enjoy yourself. And, like I said, forget about the troubles of the world. just enjoy hearing some good music and laughter, and know that these guys are true fans of the Andy Griffith Show. Wow, did they know a lot of the lines or what? So, folks, hey, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I would love to hear from you. We've got a lot of comments and feedback from the last several weeks, and I'm going to be getting to that. Hey, I love hearing from you, so feel free to call me at 888-684-8415 and leave your comments. I'd love to hear your voice. If you can't do that, which I'd prefer you be able to call you, because I'm sure the folks out there would like to hear you too, you can email me at floyd@imayberry, the letter I, mayberry.com. You can email me there. And you can also drop by the twocairsnowaiting.com website, leave comments to our shows. There's shows. If you go to the episode, down below it says comment. You just click it. You'll be able to make a comment about it. Or you can go over to facebook.com/2chairs. Spell it out, TWO, chairs, 2 chairs, no spaces. And that is our fan page. So I'd love to have you become a fan of the show or like the show there on Facebook. Any of those ways, folks, I just want to build this community. I want you guys to enjoy yourselves with one another, and not just with me, but with one another. We want to build a real community around this podcast and around Mayberry as a whole. And right now we've got 9 people in the chat room watching live as we record this episode. And, you know, it's fun. They go in the chat room and they visit with one another. I'd like to see that be able to continue all week and people enjoy themselves. So we're working on ways to be able to grow the community of Mayberry fans as we cover time here. So, all right, folks, well, I'm going to get you out of here. It's heading into the 23-minute mark. And I want to thank you again for coming. Love to hear from you. So drop by and, you know, leave me a message. And we'll see you guys next week on Two Chairs No Waiting, your Mayberry podcast. Bye, folks.